Should you wish to continue on the western front tour, turn left onto Crater Road and proceed approximately 1 mile. Turn right at the light onto Walnut Boulevard and then turn right onto Wakefield Street. Continue on Wakefield Street until you reach the Pennsylvania Monument, a gray obelisk in the middle of the road. Turn your cassette back on, as this is stop 9 on the tour. This monument to Pennsylvania troops of the Union 9th Corps is where the eastern wall of the Confederate earthen fortification known as Fort Mahone once stood. Approximately 100 yards north of here, along present-day South Boulevard, ran the Dimmick Line. In this advanced position facing Union lines, Fort Mahone was connected by trenches back to the main line. Known as Fort Hell due to the fierce fight it received from Union Fort Sedgwick 600 yards southwest of here, this southern stronghold became the focus of a Federal attempt to break General Robert E. Lee's hold on Petersburg. On April 2, 1865, at 4:30 a.m., a cannon in Fort Sedgwick signaled the advance of Union forces up Jerusalem Plank Road, that's today's Crater Road, toward this spot and nearby Confederate lines. Under heavy canister and rifle fire, the Union assault captured a half-mile of the main Confederate defenses and Fort Mahone in a little over 2 hours. The Federals then pressed the attack north towards an interior Confederate defense line, but were stopped by intense fire. The Confederates then launched 3 counterattacks over the next 4 hours. Each of these efforts was marked by small unit fighting in the labyrinth of trenches in and around Fort Mahone.
"The fighting was from traverse to traverse as we slowly drove them back,"
recalled a Confederate soldier.
"The Yankees would get on top of them and shoot our men, and as we worked to retake them, our men did the same thing."
In the last of these assaults, the Confederates recaptured a portion of the fort just before Union reinforcements arrived to reclaim and hold it. By 4 p.m., the struggle here had ended. In the nearly 12 hours of fighting along this section of the city's defenses, and at a cost of nearly 2,000 combined Union and Confederate casualties, Lee's lines are only bent, not broken. But due to Union breakthroughs on this day along the western front of the city, Lee is forced to order his forces to withdraw into the city and to leave Petersburg that night. Nearly 10 months before, on the morning of June 9, 1864, the bells of Petersburg rang with alarm as Federal cavalry were approaching this part of the city's southern defense line along today's Crater Road. Answering the call was Petersburg's local militia, made up of men of all ages who quickly left their jobs and their homes to defend this city. These troops held back the Union advance for nearly 2 hours before retreating. Their sacrifice slowed the Federal advance into the city and allowed for Confederate troops to arrive and push back the Union incursion. Now take Wakefield Street back to Walnut Boulevard and turn left. At the light, turn right onto Crater Road and proceed 0.7 miles to the light at Flank Road. Turn right and follow Flank Road to Halifax Road. After turning onto Flank Road, on your immediate left is Union Fort Davis. This fort was built after the Battle of Jerusalem Plank Road, which was fought in this area on June 21st through the 23rd of 1864. It was Grant's first attempt to capture the Weldon and South Side railroads. While he failed in this endeavor, he did manage to extend his siege lines westward across the Jerusalem Plank Road. Fort Davis, originally called Fort Warren, was named for Colonel P. Stearns Davis of the 39th Massachusetts, who was killed July 11, 1864, while this stronghold was being constructed. Up until March 1865, it was the largest earthen fort at Petersburg until Fort Fisher was enlarged at that time. This fort and the earthworks you will be seeing along this route are owned by the city of Petersburg and are not administered by the National Park Service. Included in this section of the siege line is Fort Alexander Hayes, built between August and September 1864, and Union batteries 24, 25, and 26. Fort Hayes was named for Brigadier General Alexander Hayes, who was killed on May 5, 1864, in the Battle of the Wilderness. Please turn your cassette player back on at stop 10.